NFL schedule just came out. We're breaking down each division. Right now, we're talking about the NFC South. I feel like it's gonna be a runaway division. I don't know what you guys feel. Talk to me, highs and lows.
I completely agree. Runaway division. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I got them going 14-3. Yeah, I think they're probably going to go undefeated in the NFC South. It's probably going to look absolutely terrible. The only real competition that they're probably going to get are going to be from outside sources. I personally have them losing to the Patriots, but that's a discussion for a different day. Here's the thing about Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They won the championship. They won the Super Bowl and brought everybody back. It's like this right here is like damn near unheard of. I don't know what Tom Brady got. Maybe he got pictures on a lot of the free agents or something like that. Maybe he could expose them. I don't know why they came back. He did something to this organization, and it is at this particular point, it's really just contagious. Now, number two, I don't think I have to say much about Tampa Bay. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are probably gonna agree. At number two, this right here is gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna have the New Orleans Saints, but it's not going to be by much. Now, I have the New Orleans Saints going a solid. I have them going 8-9, and of course, we understand they were a very good football team for the past couple of years. But obviously, they don't have Drew Brees. Now, we understand that Drew Brees, he took a step back. He was pretty much like a game manager for the past couple of years. But the thing about their quarterbacks now, I don't think they could even be that. Now, here's the thing. We haven't necessarily seen Jameis Winston over the past couple of years, or we haven't necessarily seen Jameis Winston last year. He might have gotten better under the tutelage of Drew Brees. We have absolutely no idea. But the last thing I've seen of Jameis Winston, he threw 30 picks in a season. It wasn't good at all. I personally think the New Orleans Saints, their defense can't withstand even 20 picks. And we're not even talking about the fumbles that he's probably going to bring. Now, that's just him. The other quarterback we have, maybe it's going to be Taysom Hill. We at this particular point, we really don't even know who's going to be the QB1 for the New Orleans Saints. So just the quarterback situation isn't going to be good at all. Just my opinion. Now the third best team in this division, I'm going to give it to the Atlanta Falcons. Now we talked about this with the draft thing. They went out on a limb. They took the best prospect in the draft, Kyle Pitts, 100%. The problem with the Atlanta Falcons, they still have not addressed it. Of course, they tried to. In my opinion, wasn't necessarily anything too substantial. Is going to be their defense. We don't know how well their defense is going to perform in that new system. Now, could be good, could be bad. We have absolutely no idea. I'm gonna project them as being a solid 7-10. Now, the last team in this division, in my opinion, is going to have to be the Carolina Panthers, and this really stems from my confusion with people's obsession with the quarterback Sam Darnold. I don't like him, flat out. I didn't like him in college. I didn't like him as a prospect. I didn't like him in the New York Jets system. I just didn't like him. To be honest, I think he's probably going to be in competition with Philip Walker, who was like the MVP. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the XFL, and also Will Greer, a quarterback from West Virginia. I'm not necessarily sure if he's going to be the actual starting quarterback, or if he does start, I'm not necessarily sure he's going to keep the starting spot, to be honest. The roster around him isn't necessarily too terrible. Their coach isn't necessarily too terrible. I just don't necessarily have faith in Sam Darnold. I think he's probably going to lead this team to the gutters. I'm going to say, a solid 4-13.
Okay, I think we have a completely different list. I mean, all right, so I agree 100%. The Bucs are going to run away with this division. It's not even close. But like you said, I don't know what Brady has on everybody because everybody got brought back. I guess it's really just we want to get a championship. We want to put the team first. We want to get Brady to number 8? We want Brady to get number 8. So I actually have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going 15-2. 15-2. I want to say that twice just so y'all understand. And it's really self-explanatory. They're the reigning defending champs. You brought everybody back. Tom Brady's Tom Brady. 3 number 1 receivers. I mean, I could just go on all day. The defense, yeah, it's not. We don't have to say too much about that. So similar to the NFC North, it's going to be about the 2, 3, and 4 spots. I actually have the Saints coming in second in that division. Here's why. People talk about Jameis Winston and his 30 for 30 that he put up that he performed his last season as a starting quarterback, right? But I'm gonna just read you guys off some numbers. So Jameis Winston started this league in 2015. I'm gonna give you his touchdown to interception ratio. So he did 22-15, 28-18, 19-11, 19-14, and then obviously the 33 or the 30 for 30 season that he had. So before that season, Jameis Winston was actually a really quality quarterback, putting up 4,000 yards, 3,500 yards, and that's what that explosive team. Now, a guy like Jameis Winston, explosive arm with that caliber offense, you got Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, just plenty of guys to fling the rock around. I think that they're capable of winning 10 games for sure with Jameis Winston, because I think that 30 for 30 season was a wake-up call that you could be out this league no matter who you are, top pick, quarterback, a guy that's getting paid, doesn't matter. Thirdly, I do have the Atlanta Falcons because, like we all agree, Kyle Pitts, best talent in the draft by far. But that wasn't something that they needed. It was just something that you had to take. You couldn't pass up the opportunity because you still have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, you got Matt Ryan, and now you bring in Kyle Pitts. That offense alone is going to be able to put up points with any team in the league, in my opinion. It's just that defense that's questionable. And for that reason, I have them going 7-9. 7-9? 8-9. I have them going 8-9. And finally, last, I have the Panthers. Now, I'm not as big a Sam Darnold hater as Rob is. I actually respect that man, and I think that he was just in a bad situation. It's one thing to be, a rookie, but then to come into a bad situation and then be in that New York media, that New York spotlight, it was a recipe for disaster. I think playing in a more I want to say calmer market like Carolina, having Christian McCaffrey, so actually having like a very dynamic running back, having some actual weapons on your team, I think that he's going to be able to get them 6 wins because it's not going to happen overnight where they're like in the playoffs. So I think they're going to go a solid 6-11 and come last in that division.
So with the placement of each team, we agree. I'm going to start from the bottom to the top. Tyler, I completely agree. I have the Panthers going 6-11. I feel like Sam Darnold needs another shot, and this situation is a lot better than what he was going through with the Jets, but it's still not a good situation. I just want to get that clear. A way better situation than he was on the Jets, but still not ideal. But I feel like he has the talent. The Panthers aren't a terrible organization. They're gonna find a way to win games, and Sam Darnold can go out there and win you some games. I have him going 6-11. Now, in third place, I actually have the Atlanta Falcons going 9-8. I feel like they're going to be a scrappy team. They're going to lose a lot of close games because their defense isn't going to really be up to par with the rest of the league. But I feel like this team is going to be built on the offense. And I feel like Matt Ryan is going to go out there. He's going to try to make some statements. He's going to try to build more of a legacy for his name because his career is coming to an end, and he's just becoming another one of those decent quarterbacks who were just in the league. But I feel like he's going to try to go all out, not have much success, but he's going to have a pretty decent season. I have him going 9-8. Now, for the Saints, I have him going 10-7. I feel like Jameis Winston, with these with the weapons he has on offense, with a new coach in Sean Payton, I feel like he got to find a way, man. He was in Tampa Bay eating W's. This man's career, it got to look up, man. There got to be a bright side to this man's career because he has not lived up to his expectations. He got drafted in 2015, and he's just been a middle-of-the-pack guy. When you get drafted first overall, you need to be a game changer. You need to be the first thing that someone reads on the scouting report is your name in big letters, and Jameis Winston has not been close to that. And finally, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going 16-1. I see them running away with this division. I see them running away with the league. I see Tom Brady going back to back again. And you guys already listed the reasons why. Rob had him winning 13 games?
14.
14 games. Ty had him winning 15. I have him winning 16. The only game I see them losing to is the game against the Bills, actually. Stay tuned for that game. I feel like that's going to be game of the year in the NFL. Might be a little bit of a hot take, but I feel like that's going to be the only team to beat the Bucs. And they're going to run away with this team, and that's my early Super Bowl pick.
Gentlemen, listen.
Okay.
I was going out on a limb by saying the Bucs was going to go 14-3. Now Tyler comes 15-2. Now you come 16-1.
Yes.
What do we talk? First thing first. They're going to be weathering potential injury. They're going to be weathering potential, penalties because, of course, they led the league in penalties last year. They're going to be weathering a lot. And, of course, this is all just, assuming the defense is going to return to scorched earth what they were in the playoffs last year, which is no guarantee. Now, I understand we're pretty much all mesmerized by Tom Brady, basically being the Phoenix that he is. But we have absolutely no idea. What if he takes a step back as a quarterback? Because, of course, he is 44 years old. Are we just assuming that Tom Brady is going to be at the same level that he was every other season? Now, of course, in my opinion, I don't necessarily think the defense is going to take that much of a step back, and I don't think that Tom Brady is going to take that much of a step back. But to think they're going to be as consistent as 16-1 and as consistent as 15-2 is absolutely insane, in my opinion. I mean, I just think they're probably going to take a little bit of games off. They're probably going to coast a little bit, at least. They're just being conservative. Now, one thing I definitely want to say, another off the Tampa Bay thing. You guys are talking about Sam Darnold this, Sam Darnold that. Y'all still got him going 6-11. How? I'm being 100% honest. I think that Sam Darnold isn't good, but that's better than pretty much lying to the audience saying that you think Sam Darnold is decent, but then saying he's 6-11. He got a decent running back, got decent receivers, Robbie Anderson, but we're still saying he's going to be 6-11. What are we talking about here?
Look, he's in one of the tougher divisions in the NFL. He has to go up against the Saints, the Falcons, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That is 6 games out of the schedule. And then on top of that, he still has to go. They still have to go against teams like the Cowboys, pretty decent team, the Vikings, the Cardinals, the Miami Dolphins, the Washington football team, the Buffalo Bills. They don't have an easy schedule. And I'm saying he's a decent quarterback, maybe a little bit below average, maybe average quarterback. That's why I'm giving him 6-11. But I don't want to crucify the man and say he's a terrible quarterback. He's not yet in Jared Goff conversation, in my opinion.
That and just to add on to that, the reason I have them going 6-11, but is because you don't go from a terrible, a bad, crazy situation like the Jets and come over to a new division, a new team, and automatically go above 500. It takes time because you got to remember, Sam Darnold, his development was, kind of derailed because of the fact that he was in that Jets organization and how bad of an organization that is. His development got completely derailed. So I think that you have to go back into that full potential that he has. You got to try to tap into it and develop him into the quarterback that at least me and Adrian believe he can be. So that's why I think 6-11 the first season, just because of new team, new coaching staff, got to rebuild his game. But if you were going to talk about longevity and for the years to come, I could see the Panthers actually putting up a fight in that division for years to come if Sam Darnold can reach his full potential with that team.
I see where you're coming from, but another thing that I got to get at shot at, it got to be the New Orleans Saints. I mean, let's be honest. We understand that Jameis Winston probably had a come into light moment last year. We understood that his career was pretty much on the line, but let's keep it a G. He took arguably the best supporting cast and went 7-9, and now we're expecting him to take an even worse supporting cast and go, 3 games over that and go 10-7. Let's be honest. Let me just. We basically know what the supporting cast is. Tom Brady took them to the Super Bowl. A 43-year-old took them to the Super Bowl. Obviously, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard, basically star-studded.
Right.
I personally believe with weapons like Alvin Kamara, and Mike Thomas, I think he's gonna do decent. But let's be honest, 10-7. What are we talking about here?
Well, because you got to remember, I think that it's just a sort of a coming of age kind of thing where that 30 for 30 really okay, you had a full year to sit behind Drew Brees. Who did you sit behind in Tampa Bay? You were instantly thrown into the fire. No matter how good that team was, you were thrown into the fire. Tampa Bay, you get to sit back. You get to learn from Drew Brees, and then you also have a guy in Taysom Hill who's also competing for their job. So that lights a fire under you. As far as supporting cast go, it's pretty much neck and neck as far as the talent on the sheet. But I just think that you got a guy that's matured, and you got a guy that learned from Drew Brees, and you got a guy who knows that his career could be over just like that if you're not performing to the best of your abilities.
Let us know down in the comments below, who do you guys think is going to be second in this division? Because we already know who's going to be first. Now, it's been a pleasure. We out.